Okay, hello everybody and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins, where I'll probably upload this part first. I think I've actually played one part ahead of this where I go to the Dalish encampment. However, the problems I've been having, I feel like I apologize for what has appeared to be looking like playing the game wrong, because I finally figured out I had to look up how to give gifts, so I finally know how to do that. And I'm not sure if I point this out. I didn't realize this was gonna happen. I did not know that Lothering would fall if I didn't do the preparatory quests, like those side missions for it. Over in the next part, I do go to the Brazilian outskirts, but I'm afraid once I go there, and if I try to leave, because I finally figured out how to do the camp, is right there. I didn't realize that was what that was. I thought that the game would trigger it on the road, like it does with all the other little happenstance things, and so I kept traveling and hoping that it would pop up. But I had to look up how it happens, and it's right there up in the corner. I just was like, boo, it must be a little square-shaped island. I wasn't even looking at it. And I also had to look up how to do gifts, and I finally figured out how to do that. Oh, let me travel from there. Okay. Oh, I'm in the middle of traveling to the Brazilian outskirts right now. Shoot. Let me see something.
Now that we're back at the camp, I want to talk about what happened at Redcliffe.
Okay. Really quick, everybody. I'm not sure exactly which parts I've uploaded at this point. Well, okay, we've played a little further ahead. I think only one part, where we get to the Dalish camp. But last night I looked up how to trigger the party camp and how to give gifts. And I'm sorry, I think I've been playing the game kind of wrong. I did not realize that the party camp was just that little icon up in the top right part of the map. I thought it was just like a little decoration. I didn't even notice it. So I do apologize. I should have been going to that more frequently, I think. I guess, though, it's been kind of hectic, so I probably wouldn't have gone to it, really. But I've been playing for, like, I think 18 hours at this point, and I thought the party camp was triggered on the road, and so I kept, in the traveling, I thought it would happen, but it didn't. But then, also, I don't know if we've seen it or not. I think we probably have, but we lost Lothering. And that's something that's kind of weighing on me a little bit, because I didn't realize, I've never played a game really that has like a time thing like this. Like, even in Inquisition, everything is at your disposal. You can do whatever you want, no matter how hectic it is. You know, even Mass Effect, especially 3, where you're feeling really rushed, you know? There is no time limit for something. I didn't realize this game would have a time limit on things, which it's not that I don't hate it, or by any means. It definitely adds weight to your actions. However, I think what happened is I read that if I'd have left Redcliffe, the village, but if I'd have triggered Redcliffe and then left before I finished the Nightfall thing, the village would have been overrun. And I was like, holy crap. And it's because I didn't do the preparatory missions in Lothering that I think that it fell. And I am very concerned about this, and I know it's going to affect the ending, but also, like, I talk about it in whichever part we see it in, I'm not sure, but, I won't waste your time by repeating myself, but, what I've done is I've actually gone back, I actually redid the long road so we could get Zevran, and then, because I tried to go back to just the long road, but it wouldn't let me travel anywhere because it was going to send me automatically to the Dalish encampment, because that's where I started to travel, because they're about to be cut off by the Darkspawn. And I didn't want to get there, trigger it, and then leave, and then have the camp be overrun. I'm worried that's going to happen, and I kind of tried looking it up, and I couldn't find anything. I could not find anything at all about what happens if you leave the Dalish camp once you've triggered it. But it makes me kind of nervous. Like, I can't go. I'm not sure if the party camp doesn't count or anything. But I've also figured out how to give gifts, so I'm going to be doing that here too. But this is going to be a lot of talking, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the episode that I haven't uploaded it or not. But I said that once we get to camp, there's gonna be a lot of talking going on, probably. And so we've got Alister just jumping out at us from the get-go. So we have gone back a little bit in time. I'll make sure that you guys don't have to repeat anything. So hopefully we'll jump right back into the Dalish camp where we left off. I barely got in there, and I think I talked to like 2 guys. But so I've gone back just to like 10 minutes basically because I've been saving like a madman, which is great for this. But yes, so we've gone back in time a little bit. We haven't hit the Dalish encampment, but we just did Red Cliff and the Mage's Circle. So we'll see. So now Alister wants to talk to us about Red Cliff. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, okay.
You went out of your way to save the Arl's family, and you did it. Even though it would have been easier not to. There's been so much death and destruction. It makes me feel good that at least we were able to save something. No matter how small.
Good.
I owed the Arl that much.
You're welcome.
Good. Now that the warm, fuzzy part of the day is over with, we can get back to the ritual dismemberments. Oh, wait, it's not Tuesday, is it?
I hope we've uploaded the part where, where I just slapped my head off at Severin. It's Tony Banderas, by the way. Hopefully I'm not getting my timeline mixed up in that we're not like an episode off or anything, but he sounds like Tony Banderas mixed with Inigo Montoya. I have a very hard time taking it seriously. Dude, that's not the fire. But I have figured out how to give gifts, so, which I thought it would be like a cutscene thing for gifts. I didn't know how to do it. I thought it was gonna be, like, in a cutscene, all of a sudden it would say, you know, oh, hey, you should give him this. See there, to give to Alister. Okay, his mother's amulet.
This is my mother's amulet. It has to be.
Oh, there is a cutscene.
Why isn't it broken? Where did you find it?
I found it in Redcliffe Castle in the study.
Oh, the Arl's study? Then he must have found the amulet after I threw it at the wall. And he repaired it and kept it. I don't understand. Why would he do that?
Maybe you mean more to him than you think.
I guess you could be right. We never really talked that much. And then the way I left... Thank you. I mean it. I thought I'd lost this to my own stupidity. I'll need to talk to him about this if he recovers from his... When he recovers, that is. I wish I'd had this a long time ago.
It's good
Do you
have
remember
it
me
now.
mentioning it? Wow. Huh. I'm more used to people not really listening when I go on about things.
You make me laugh. Sorry, did you say something?
Ho, ho, ho. See this gesture I'm making? Can you hear that?
A skill acquired? What? Like for him or for me? How do I skill? No skill? Or, oh, plot! Minor constitution. Oh, inspired by my leadership? Whoa. Oh, okay. Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you.
Yeah?
Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And
Oh,
when
a
we're there,
plot
I wonder
mission-
if
or
we
a-
might be able to
Questy!
look someone up.
Indeed. You have a friend outside the
I'm
Grey
not talking
Wardens?
about a friend, exactly. And no, it's not that sort of friend either.
Well, I
The
don't
thing
know
is,
your daughter.
I
You
have a
do
sister,
have a
a
sister,
half-sister.
okay.
I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret after all. But after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking and, well,
Jeez.
I found out she's still alive.
Denerim's got a
In
lot.
Denerim.
Lots of going on. Have you contacted
No.
her?
I thought about writing her, but I never did. And then we were called down to Ostagar, and I never got the chance. She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know.
If you want to, we can try.
Could we? I'd appreciate that.
Of course,
If
man.
something happened to her and I never went to at least
We're going to
see
dinner him
her,
anyway.
I don't know if I could forgive myself.
Yeah.
Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Why does she live outside the alienage? What's my, oh, wrong button. Okay, so we're pretty good. Yeah, alright. Okay.
Something on your mind?
Oh boy. Whoa. So, it makes sense that he's probably a romance option. I'm pretty sure Alister is, and I'm actually pretty sure Zevran is too. I don't think Morrigan is. She talks about men a lot, never any dalliance with women. Leliana, I don't know actually if Leliana is an option for male or female. Sten, I don't know about Sten. I think he's too caught up in his own world, but I suppose it's possible. I think the thing is I feel like we're getting close to the end of the game because I finished 2 main missions, and so I'm kind of worried that I don't have enough time to talk to these guys. But I also I think we have like a couple more characters at least to go get. Like, I actually. Where there's probably a dwarf in the Dwarven Kingdom. Maybe somebody from the Dalish clans? I know I picked up Leliana and Sten in Lothering. I'm glad I did. Jeez, if I'd have lost Lothering, I wouldn't have been able to pick them up. Like, if I'd have just like, I mean, I blew through that place pretty fast because I was hoping, I thought Redcliffe Castle was going to be like my base of operations. I'm too used to Inquisition where I have an entire castle at my disposal. I do like this method of talking to people though. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to like run around an entire castle. I don't know what Dragon Age 2 does. I think you just stay in Kirkwall for 2, don't you? You don't get to travel at all, really. Which could have benefits for sure. It maybe no like loading screen. You know, like the map loading screens that you're jumping around. I do in Inquisition. You don't get to do those like those little random encounters on the road. I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. I have some questions.
Of course.
Okay, here we go. I'm ready. When I was talking to these guys, and when I was worried. It turns out it's actually a good thing. I was kind of worried about the timing, but it seemed kind of arbitrary that the timing didn't matter on me going to get the Circle Mages, but the timing did matter on me losing Lothering. Okay, we'll start from the beginning. What can a Templar do?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So couldn't others learn those
Perhaps,
talents?
but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together.
So were you addicted? Because I know in Inquisition, Cullen has a hard time overcoming that.
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving
Oh.
lyrium once you've taken your vows.
Okay.
You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templar's talents more effective. Or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
I don't know if anybody else is having a problem with it, but I'm actually kind of having a problem with her chin. From a distance, it's not too bad, but in cutscenes, it looks like she's sucking her cheeks in, which is apparently, I actually read on a forum that at least a couple people, several people have had problems with that, where in the character creation screen they look fine, but then they come out into the real world and the character, like, I didn't notice it at first, but after a couple hours into the game, I was like, wait a second, you know, and I wasn't willing to go back and change. I actually looked up to see if they had anything where you could go and, like, alter the face a little bit, but in Dragon Age Origins, at least, I think in 2 and in I know for sure in Inquisition, and I think I read in 2 you can, but in Origins you cannot, so, alright, let's see.
Something on your mind?
I'll have some questions.
Of course.
I think Altair would be fun to romance. What? I don't know. I haven't really. I mean, I'm very attracted to elves, as you'll know if you've seen my Inquisition walkthrough. I picked Solas out from the get-go. So, yeah. Ooh, can you teach others to be a
Others,
Templar?
yes, but not yourself. I need someone who's trained
Oh,
first
this
as
is
a
if I
warrior.
wanted to be.
It's as much
Okay.
about discipline as anything.
I have
I guess
discipline.
if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way. Send whoever you
Oh.
want trained to me in camp, and I'll see what I can do.
Wow. So could I send? Oh, I had to unlock the specializations for my
Something
my
on your mind?
teammates too. Maybe. Don't they all come with specializations unlocked anyway?
Of course.
Tell me, there's still 6 options. Weren't there 6 options before?
Such as they are.
Such as they are. Nice. Where are the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Is there a headquarters
Here
somewhere?
in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress.
Oh yeah, it's Weishaupt.
That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens
Not
in
Weishaupt.
Neanderthals, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
Wow. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the characters in Origins, I really like them. Like, their voice acting is superb. Like, the animations aren't always, like, super great, you know? Like, his armor looks pretty flat, you know, and, like, up on the shoulders and stuff, but the voice acting, I think, is really well done. I think they chose poorly for a Spaniard, though, for, like a legit Spaniard. Like, olden time Spaniard voice for Zane? No. Zavrin? But Zavrin. I think it's Zavrin. Zav. He likes to be called. He said, like, Zav by his friends. I thought that was so funny that he added that. What would happen if we just left? Well, everything would go kaput. So what happened now that there's 2 of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them.
Hi, doggy.
Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But
Why
that would
don't
mean
we have
leaving
messenger
Ferelden, and even if we
pigeons?
did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Okay, well, we need to start rebuilding the order.
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens.
Oh, right.
But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it.
I thought it was
Unless
just
we
drinking
can
the
find
blood.
out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
I feel like an endangered species. What would happen if we just left?
Just left? You mean just left for Eldon? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
Me neither.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow.
Haha!
Fair enough.
I've no more questions.
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
So we talked about some of the Grey Wardens. So how did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out.
Haha.
You haven't forgotten already, have you?
I mean before that.
Let's see. I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
Well, I knew that. So you mentioned before.
It's really for the best. I'm not exactly the Chantry type, if you haven't noticed. I don't think I would have made a very good Templar.
No, you would have
The
been
Grand
very
Cleric
unhappy
didn't
as a
want to
Templar.
let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Why did the Grand
I
Cleric want to
wondered
keep you?
that myself. It's not as if she valued me highly. I think she just didn't want to give anything to the Grey Wardens, is all. The Chantry didn't lose much. And I think I can do more fighting the Blight anyhow, rather than sitting in a temple somewhere. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
He was a good man.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate.
In death sacrifice.
That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking. Something on your mind?
Questions?
Of course.
Oh, okay, so we are shortening. So why have you remained a Templar if you hate the
Have you
Chantry?
seen the uniform? It's not only stylish,
Oh my
but well made.
gosh!
I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Oh my gosh. In that case, you should have become a mage.
Oh, you aren't kidding. I think the Templar uniforms are as colourful as they are, just so the Templars didn't feel dull in comparison. Last thing you want when you're about to take down some Maleficar out in the woods is to have him point and laugh at your taste in clothing, am I right?
Totally. And what's the real reason?
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I have to know. I do really want to know. You don't have to tell me if you... I was just curious.
I suppose there's no harm in it then. Sorry if I was being perverse. I'm just not used to anyone asking
He
me
does
these
deflect
things.
serious matters
Truth
with
of the
humor,
matter
but
is
he's also just a
that
joke.
I did hate
like
going
he's a
to the
jokester.
monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me.
How they know you
I
are a
felt
bastard?
like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think I understand.
Using the abilities I have came after years of education and discipline that was difficult to achieve, if rewarding.
Shh, puppy, be quiet.
Sword training and religious doctrine all came later.
Ah.
Never really felt at home anywhere, though,
Yeah.
until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
The Circle of Magi's Tower was my home for a long time. It was.
But it's not your home anymore, right?
Yeah.
You can never go back for good. I think I understand how you feel. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is...
It's hard to
Well,
imagine the blight being done.
A time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Although that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
Not yet. It can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens.
We're like the
but
mom
we'll
and
never get back
dad.
those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
It's never gonna be the same, for sure.
Something on your mind?
We're not gonna have, like, the legacy of, like... Because we're both fairly young Grey Wardens. I think a lot was lost. We're gonna definitely need help from some of the older Grey Wardens in
Of course.
Orlais and the Free Marches. Why did you keep your bird? That seems like a stupid question. But I'll ask it because it's, like, you know, necessary.
You never asked?
That sounds like grumpy. Did you not trust me? I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I didn't mean to. It wasn't supposed to. Oh, let me explain.
I don't blame him.
I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret.
Well,
Even
yeah.
Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then after the battle, when I should have told you.
No, you shouldn't have. It's not a
I
big
don't
deal.
know. It seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
Yeah. I can understand. Well, like, it's not something he ever really thinks about. Like, it doesn't really, like, he doesn't want to, doesn't want to be the heir to the throne. Like, he was not raised to be that at all. You know, like, he's always been kind of misplaced and, like, feeling misplaced. Like, it's shaped who he is, but he doesn't let it define him, you know? I can see it as not being, like, something... I mean, maybe it is bigger than he's saying, you know? Maybe he does actually think about it more than I think he does, but... I guess I can understand that.
I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me liked you not knowing.
Well, yeah. You enjoyed not telling me? You don't think it was dangerous not to? Why? What happens when people find out? What do you think what happens when people find out? I'm gonna say you enjoyed not telling me?
It's just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I was the bastard prince instead of just being Alister. I know that must
Alister,
sound
what did I
stupid
call
to
it? I
you,
called him
but
Altair,
hate that it
didn't I?
shaped my entire life.
Jeez.
I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
Oh, yeah. I think he doesn't give himself enough credit. I think he could be a really good leader, but he does, at this point in his life, he doesn't want to be one, you know? You probably don't have a choice in the matter. It doesn't sound stupid at all. It doesn't sound stupid.
For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. I guess I should be thankful that Al Eamon is far more likely to inherit the throne. If he's all right. Oh, I hope he's all right. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner.
How about the queen just inherits the throne?
I guess I was just hoping that you would like me for who I am. It was a dumb thing to do.
I do like you. Yeah. Don't worry about it, Alister. No harm done. I don't know if that's like, I do like you. Ooh. No harm done.
I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go.
Let's go.
Something on your mind?
Some questions.
Of course.
What changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
You've been a Grey Warden longer than I have.
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
Oh, great. He just try that line. No, he wouldn't tell you.
Well, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy.
Holy crap.
When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare. then laugh themselves to tears.
I kind of wish. Yeah. Like, I feel like I missed out on a huge, like I became a Grey Warden and then all of a sudden it's like now we're the only ones left. I didn't get to have that camaraderie that comes with the Grey Wardens. Like there's one that you meet in Inquisition who talks about like the camaraderie and like the being a part of something larger than yourself is, and like knowing that there are people similar to you, have your same values, you know, like I'm sad. I think Durthara is sad as well. Like sort of sad, like that she's missing out on that sort of group involvement, you know. So I haven't felt anything like that.
Really? Because I was watching you wolf down
like
food
an
the other
appetite,
day,
haha.
and I thought, ooh, it's a good thing she gets a lot of exercise.
Ah! Can I say I'm a growing girl?
I'll say. I didn't mean it like that. No, don't hit me. I bruise easily. Oh, and then there were the nightmares.
Yeah,
Duncan
I've experienced
said it was
those.
part of how we sense the darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight.
Oh,
How is it for you?
nightmares. Yes, I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come.
I remember this.
That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
This time has come.
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about
Grey
being a
Wardens don't
Grey
die of
Warden,
old age.
you don't need to worry about dying from old
I
age.
didn't realize I didn't say that.
You've got 30 years to live, give or take. The taint, it's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
Why Orzammar? Because that's where they are. I'm gonna die anyway. Some of these, I don't know. Like I like the talking. I think their lines are really good. I don't feel like my lines are very good. Why Orzammar?
You'll always find Darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of Darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. There you have it.
It does seem a high price to pay. And it seems a little cruel to keep it from new recruits who just want, you know, to... Especially young ones. You know? Older recruits, maybe, it's like, you know, you can go out and battle, but young ones, like, in their 20s or something, like, they're gonna die, like, in their 50s if they're lucky, you know? It does seem a bit of a high price.
I suppose it is. We're the only ones who can stop the blight, however. Is there a price too high to pay for that? You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself.
Wow.
I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
He will be remembered, as will all the others.
Ending the blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
I do feel, I mean, like, I was like, oh, it is worthy of him, but Duncan died because they were betrayed, and, like, the last thing he saw was all the forces around them falling, you know? It wasn't like he died a he died with honor, but it wasn't like a, quote, glorious death, you know what I mean?
Something on your mind? Of course.
What was it like to be a Grey Warden with all
I
the
didn't
others?
know them for very long, but I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all,
Yeah.
did you? They were
Nope.
quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family since we were all cut off from our former lives.
Mm-hmm.
We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time, well, You probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know.
Of course I do. Were there any women? Were there any elves? The women thing has come up. Like, they're like, we didn't expect you to be a woman. And then somebody else said, there's not many women in the Grey Wardens. Were there any elves?
Just one. A man named Terramel. He kept to himself mostly. I got the impression that his life before the Grey Wardens was unpleasant. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? Was it Gregor? He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen.
Nah.
And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table.
Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time.
Good.
Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out.
I wonder if he did a sleight of hand.
I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Until...
Huh. I'm sorry, this must be hard.
Yes, I suppose so.
It's better to talk it out. I don't want him to keep it in.
I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by.
Oh, okay, next gift I get.
There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you.
No, man. Not at all.
I just would have liked something of his to take with me.
Especially because he's had that attachment to his mother's
there's no use
amulet.
in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
We should not end the conversation on Duncan not being here.
I'm wondering something.
Whoa!
I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions.
Oh, so we do get to have
Mind if
these
I
conversations. Go ahead, I don't mind.
Zevran, the elf. You can't trust him, can you? Do you believe his so-called vow?
I can trust him as far as I can throw him. And that means I can throw him probably decently far with magic. Maybe, we'll see.
That's a lot to put on a maybe, isn't it? He's an assassin. The crows aren't known for giving up. Maybe he's just biding his time.
I don't know, I just like him. I'm willing to give him a chance. I feel like this playthrough has kind of all been about redemption, you know? I'm giving everybody second chances. Even third chances. I'm willing to give him a chance.
Well, if you are, then maybe I should too. But that doesn't mean I won't keep an eye on him. He's just...
I think it's a good idea to
too
keep an eye
shifty.
on him.
What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. He's so quiet for
he's just
someone so
different.
big.
I respect him. I do.
The more I talk to him, the more reasonable he does seem. His philosophy is so strange.
It is.
But it doesn't sound at all as vile as the Chantry describes it.
There's
And
definitely...
yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you?
Yeah, it does bother me a little.
Yet he seems otherwise honorable and even wise.
Exactly. He seems
I
like
don't get it.
I don't know, yeah.
What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision?
I believe that she believes in her
That's
vision.
one way to put it.
Aha!
I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life.
It was her choice.
Yes, I know. Still, I feel badly for her. Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said.
You really don't like each other,
Well, aside
do you?
from the fact that she's a complete and utter bitch, no. I don't like her at all. Why, do you?
Yes. I like her just fine.
Great. I am thrilled beyond words. Now, really. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Okay.
Something on your mind?
I wonder if there's any answers I do that like are negative, and so in the end I get plus. I could have had like +5, but because of certain things I say, I get like +2 instead or something.
Of course.
Have you never? Are we saying have you never had sex? Is that?
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
Sex.
Oh, so that's what we're talking about. I admit I've never had a woman just come out and ask me like this, that's for sure.
Nah.
I myself never had the pleasure. Not that I
Not
haven't
the
thought
pleasure.
about. But, you know.
You've never had the opportunity?
Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They taught me to be a gentleman, especially in the presence of beautiful women such as yourself. That's not so bad, is it?
Nope, not so bad. I just always feel kind of. I feel like maybe my chin isn't as bad as I think it is. But when I think about Durthar, like people talking to Durthar, I just think that like her jaw and her chin just come into this really weird shape and like this really wide, big, huge chin, and it's like, not really,
Good.
no.
You'd want a gentleman to court you, wouldn't you? If you were to be courted by someone, that is.
Only if it were the right gentleman.
Yes, of course. I see exactly what you mean. Enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's go.
Okay, I think that was it. He's not gonna like fall in love with me, is he? I don't know. Should I? I don't know. Wow, yeah, we're getting up there. Oh man, if it gets all the way, I think if it gets all the way, it's not necessarily like I love you. It's just you know, I respect you, I admire you, I am loyal. Wait, do we? Level 8, level 8. Level 10? Is he that? Ooh, I'm almost there. Look at me. Ooh, wow, she's level 10 too. So don't they have points for me to do? Oh, okay. Morrigan does. She's a shapeshifter. I need to figure out. That's the other thing I need to figure out. How to unlock that. Magic. Ooh. Got it! That's pretty cool. Wait, oh god, so he doesn't have to do... No. Sten, yes, it's been a while. 3 strength. Wow, he basically just puts it all into strength, doesn't he? Is he a Templar? He's... What? Oh no, that's just what I have. That's what I have unlocked. Oh, I must have it unlocked for him because, I talked to, what's this bucket? You know who I'm talking about? Yeah. Bravery. Bravery looks nice. Oh. Ooh. Okay. get that one. Okay, I should probably call it here. We finished chit-chatting with, Alister. This episode had a lot of interrupts. I do apologize for that, and noises as I'm trying to, like, rearrange my chair, and it's been squeaky since day one. It's gotten a little better, though. Hopefully nothing is, like, corrupted or anything, because it's gone on for a long time, but, at least the record has. The video itself probably pretty short. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. The next one we'll be talking a lot for the next little bit, but I'm interested in learning everybody's backstory. I love the way they all talk. It's very cool. They're very unique characters. I love that about BioWare, Dragon Age, and Mass Effect. Each character is definitely unique. So thank you all again, and I will see you in the next one.